Are you juggling every aspect of your business on your own, from marketing and sales to operations and customer service? Hi, I'm Christine Rothdeutsch, host of Make It Click. And today my guest is Michael Greenberg. And we're going to explore how you, as a solo entrepreneur, can harness the power of AI and automation to not just survive, but actually to thrive. So, welcome to the show, Michael. I'm so glad to have you here. I was just saying before we came live, I've just been on a week of learning more about AI and automations. It's one of my favorite areas. I get it, but many people in our audience don't. And it's kind of scary for a lot of people also. So, we're talking AI and automation. It really is, it can be two separate things. But for the solopreneur, can you just give a basic overview of what it is, and then maybe what it's not, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so let's start by saying what we mean when we say AI. And at least for the purposes of today, AI really is just a large language model. And that means it's a chat GPT, it's a Claude, it's something that you're essentially giving instructions to, and then it's giving text back, or it might give images back. But fundamentally, it's something you're giving instruction to, and then it is returning. And there's a million other forms of AI, but we're not going to talk about any of those because those aren't the ones that caught everyone's attention.
Mhm.
Now, with automation, that also comes up in a million different ways. But the automation that most people can take advantage of, especially solopreneurs, are the automations that are existing inside of their software already, where they're not necessarily using it to its fullest. And then the tools like Zapier and Make that allow you to connect and automate while integrating multiple different platforms together.
Right. Well, yeah, I like how you say it's probably already in the technology that people have. And when I think of that, the one that really, really bothers me is email marketing. All of these email marketing platforms are set up so that you can set it and it will go at the right time. You don't have to be doing it at the last minute, but all too often that's what people are doing instead of getting it done ahead of time. What's your thoughts on just email marketing for people?
I mean, I think they should probably be doing it. If like you run a business and it has an email list, you should probably be marketing to that list. Um, I think any solopreneur is probably doing email marketing unless they're in some sort of like high relationship brokerage business. Um, and if you're not, you should get started. But
Now, can you explain the where the real automation takes place in email marketing? It's not just about sending a weekly newsletter, but it's in more in the lead generation area, I believe, to really automate sequences there.
yeah, I mean that's a pretty basic sort of automation to set up like, oh, when somebody signs up to my company's newsletter through this form, then I want to send an email. And then 2 days later, I want to send another email. And a few days after that, I want to send another email. That is a very common process that people often don't have set up. It's called an autoresponder,
Mhm.
that particular type of automation.
Right. Yeah, and I get, I say I'm amazed, but again, okay, so I get the technology. A lot of people don't. And I've heard a lot of questions over the years in coaching groups of they're told to have that lead magnet. It's like, oh, now what do I do with it? It's a really hard concept to understand. How does it get from here to there? It's like, oh, just send me an email and I'll send it to you. And it's no, you have it within your email marketing platform to automate, create that form and automate that. So when we're thinking about these different technologies, Um, some people get drawn into things that can do everything but wash their socks, say. And so you have all in ones and then you have individual ones. What are your recommendations for that solopreneur that might not be as techy? Do you think that an all in, well, everything's not going to do, there's no one thing that will do everything, but what's your philosophy on where to get started?
Yeah, I think most solopreneurs fall into the trap of caring about technology when the reality is they're just not working hard enough or strategically enough in their business to actually get momentum. Um, I think, like, at least my experience is that technology, automation, AI, these are gap closers, these are multipliers, but they are no replacement for an engine. And it is it is useless to automate a process as a solopreneur if you're not already making money. And it is, in fact, I think a trap of many to spend a lot of time building and automating things when they should be out there selling. Because if you're not doing at least 100, 200,000 a year, like, you don't really have a business. You have something, it might make you money, you have a job, but if you're unable, if being a solopreneur is not a choice you're making, but instead it is forced upon you as a result of the size of your business, then you are not at the point at which automation is really going, or any tool is going to make a difference, because the problem is not the tool.
Oh, thank you for
People
that.
first.
Yes.
When it comes to digital operations, when it comes to automation, AI, we have to understand the people, we have to understand the process, and then we can implement technology.
Right. Right. Okay. Thank you so much for that. It's people really need to hear that because everybody wants to hide behind the computer building something. They're building this wonderful lead magnet or this program. Programs are a big one. I'm going to build this program. It's like, and yes, if they don't have the business to begin with, they shouldn't be working on that. So go out and get the business first. So let's talk about. So say somebody is at the $100,000, $200,000 point. What are some of the automations that you see can be really beneficial?
They need to learn how to use QuickBooks, or they need to hire somebody to use QuickBooks or a similar accounting program. Accounting can, in like bookkeeping, can be almost entirely automated for businesses this small. And it's really just a matter of setting up like the automated categorization and approval processes inside of whatever accounting tool you use. It's very low hanging fruit, and it is high value to almost any entrepreneur. Saves us an hour or two every month. Then you want to be looking at, and I'm a big fan at this point of asking the question, do we want a bigger business? Do you want to have people under you, or are you deliberately choosing that solopreneur path? If it's number two, then there's a lot of solopreneurs who call themselves that, but really have a bunch of offshore contractors who work full time for them. And those are just employees by another tax classification. So I'm going to throw those people out. You're lying to yourself if you think you're a solopreneur at that point. You're just a solopreneur to the IRS. So let's assume you're truly a solopreneur. You want to document step by step how you do each and everything you are doing. And then you can take those processes, and when I say document, I mean you want to make checklists of each step, and you want to say this goes here, then here, then here, then here, step by step by step by step through it. One of my favorite ways is by narrating. So, like, imagine you're making a video instructing somebody else to do it. Go through that process, and then I would actually hire an expert, spend the $1,000, bring in an expert, hire them on Upwork, make sure it's somebody with a lot of good reviews, and then hire them for just a few hours to review those processes with you and point out potential opportunities for automation and AI. That's, I mean, when $100 million business wants to do that, they hire my company. And that's we use the exact same process because it doesn't change when you're at 100,000 a year or 100 million a year. You still need to document everything. You still need to write it all down, and then you can identify how to implement.
Yeah. I mean, and again, that's another great point that you made about how to go about it. Of like you're going through, you're actually doing something in your business, videotape it, and walk through it. Okay, I'm doing this, then I'm doing that, and I've even used videos like that with some clients so that they can better understand why I did what I did. It's like here it is visually. It's like, so absolutely yes, the videos. Or I also like mind mapping. To just say, okay, first I do this, then then it goes here. So those are two great methods to really lay down how you do what you do. And yes, okay. So audience, yes, it's going to take time. And that's the thing. People, they're like, oh my goodness, but how? Oh, it's just better if I just keep doing it the way I'm doing it. No.
Now, here's an AI trick, because I know I've been avoiding them. If you transcribe that video of you walking through the step-by-step process, you can give that transcript to an AI and it will turn it into a beautiful written SOP. And if you use Claude, then Claude will actually draw the flow chart for you as well.
Ooh. Okay. Nice. Nice. And then that's the thing. Yes, you take some time to do this, but then when you look at the time that you save after everything is set up, you're going to be smacking yourself upside the head saying, why didn't I do it sooner? So that you have the time to do what's really important. Oh yeah, making sales. Getting new customers.
If you've had trouble like outsourcing or delegating in the past, this will solve that. And I think that's probably what most people sort of screw up with the idea of automation and AI, is that it's not delegating, but the process is the exact same up until who does the work after you.
Yeah.
Smartest intern I've ever had.
So, Michael, let's talk a little bit about, okay, calculating the return on investment. It's like people are, oh, well, if I take the time or if I invest in these other tools, how do they know that it's actually benefiting them?
Yeah. Investment in digital operations can be easily summed up by what I call the 5 C's: consistency, clarity, capacity, confidence, and cash flow. And they're going to happen in that order. You're going to build consistency and clarity in the business because you're going to know what needs to be done, how, and when. Then that is going to allow you to increase your business's capacity because you're now going to be able to automate some things. You're probably going to identify a lot of things that you are doing wrong or that you aren't doing in the best way as you map everything out. And those changes, that new capacity, is going to allow you to build confidence in yourself and your business that you can grow it and that you can service your clients better because you have more consistency in your work. And ultimately, all of those things with that helpful automation that you can now put in place allow you to build cash flow. And that if you are automating things, if you are using these technologies in your business, you should expect to see an increase in your profit margin.
And there comes in the bookkeeping. You'll be able to see it when you look in your QuickBooks.
Yep. If you've got all your automations and everything set up there.
Yeah. I didn't even think about, I know QuickBooks, I use it myself. I never really thought about the automations that do take place there. But yeah, it's like you say, with almost every technology that we probably are using, there's some automation and maybe some artificial intelligence running in the background. So,
Yeah.
Michael, this is such a huge topic. I just wanted the audience to just get a better feel, that it's not something to be afraid of, especially with the AI. People are like, oh, so afraid of using that, and it's yeah. I'm thinking if you don't, you're going to be left behind. If you don't automate, you're going to be left behind. Um, so, is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you would like our audience to understand about this?
Yeah, I think there's a gap. There's a step before automating in a lot of businesses, and that's delegating. And I mentioned, AI is the smartest intern I've ever had. I mentioned it's the exact same steps up until the point of who you hand it off to. And in order to automate a process, it actually takes a good amount of work. Like you have to build the thing and maintain it. And if your business is growing quickly, it is generally better to hire offshore talent to manage these than it is to actually hire like an AI person to automate them, because the process is going to change as the business grows. And it's easier to change how a person does it than how a machine does it. So if you're growing fast, or if you know things will change, hire a human instead of investing in the AI automation solution.
Mm. Yes, that's so important. I like that how it's easier for the to change something the human's doing than the automation, and it's so true. Just in some of the simple automations I've had, oh, now I got to go back and make some changes here and there, and you have to remember exactly how everything's put together.
Yep.
So yes, yes, very, very important. Well, this has been enlightening for me, Michael. If our audience wants to know more about you, where can they find you?
So you can find me at Gent of Tech on all of social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, all those places. Or you can check us out at thirdbrain.co. That's the number 3, RD, brain.co.
All righty. Well, one last question for you, Michael, and this is concerning you and your business. And when you think of building up your business, is there anything that in particular has helped you to really make it click in your business, whether maybe it's technology for you since you're into technology, or maybe it's just something you learned about
Yeah.
business or um,
So my mentor, who was also like the only person I ever worked for, literally like the only person in 10 years. He actually just started putting out a course for his new company on like the sales process that he uses. And the company is called Bootstrap Giants. I don't know if the course is even available right now, but I bought it. I used it to like rewrite the company pitch for Third Brain, and my partner said it was like night and day. It was the best pitch I had ever given. So that was a great $50 I spent. And I think it's probably landed us tens of thousands in business since.
nice, nice. Well, thank you for that, Michael. Thank you for everything that you shared with us today. And again, I hope our audience is not scared of looking at AI and automation. But as you say, if you're really not there yet, hire somebody to help you out first. So I appreciate you sharing that with our audience.